Hey, what's going on? Erik here at Texas Barndominiums. Today we're gonna pour a slab for a metal building. This is actually going to be for some dog kennels. So we have a drain running right down the center and we're gonna slope the concrete towards it. We have it protected with tape so that obviously we don't get any concrete on top of it. But what I'm gonna do right now, we shot it with levels, everything appears to be perfect. However, I'm just gonna take a bucket of water, dump it in there, and see if it'll drain. I mean, that's the easiest way. I don't care what a level tells me. If the level tells me it has perfect slope, but it doesn't drain, it doesn't matter. What really matters is that it actually drains, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. The concrete truck's here, and so I'm gonna do this real quick. So this is on the high side of the drain, so all I have to do is dump it here, and if it runs off, then I know we're good. Yep. It's draining. Let's go look on the other side then. There it is. Right here. Get in here. There's the pipe right there that's draining and the water's right there. You can tell it's perfectly dry over here. It's not going past that hole, so we're good. Because we put the drain right down the middle, we moved the center beam over about a foot. Maybe 2 feet, and then we were able to just expand that beam where that drain is over, and then we're able to get the rebar to come in, go under the drain, and back over. So that's how we did that here. You never want to interrupt the rebar, okay? If you cut it, you have to go under and, you know, join it back up again. Otherwise, you'll have a separation right there and you have a crack. So don't do that. As you can tell here, we're gonna have plenty of concrete, so we'll make sure we vibrate it real well. But the main thing is you do not want to move this drain. The slope is perfect, it's been verified, so do not move it. So we have to be very careful when we pour around this drain here. So I'm gonna cover the rest of it here now that we verified it's good to go. And you can tell the guys are already over there pouring some concrete. So this is my Benchmade Infidel. I can operate it with one hand. That's the beauty of it. So like right now, if I'm having to hold something down, like I'm doing here, you know, like here, I can simply deploy it, cut it, makes it simple. Retract it, put it back in my pocket. So okay, so in case you're wondering why we're doing rebar on this one and not post tension, this is for a dog kennel. So this is a metal building, and we did not have this one engineered. Okay, also because we have the drain running right down the middle, rebar was a lot easier because we had to, like I said, go under and all that good stuff. But the main thing is it's not engineered. As far as the rebar specs, the slab is 5 inches thick. We have 3/8 rebar on the surface or the mat, 12 inches spacing each way. The beams, we have 24-inch beams deep. And we have number 5 or 5/8 rebar top and bottom with stirrups every 24 inches. So on the concrete we're using 3000 straight sack. On the interior beams we have one every 20 feet, and then we have one running right down the middle to split it all up. So we try to keep the interior beams between 15 to 20 feet typically. So yeah, we got this is a strong slab, so I'm not worried about it. But again, it's just for some dog kennels, but even for that purpose it's pretty overkill, but that's how I like it. So anyway, as you guys can see, things are going pretty well. We have a really heavy fog right now. It's 9:30 a.m. It's about 55 degrees, and that's why we're pouring 3000 straight. right, so what he's doing right now, he's vibrating the concrete around the drain to make sure we get a nice bond and we don't have any voids on the drain. So the reason they're screeding that way is they got a level right here. This needs to be level so we can put our walls right here, and then the drain is down there. So you have to screed that way. Okay. So right now they took a screed board and they're gonna screed this way, and then they're gonna go and get on top of the drain. Just move over and screed it again, because we want to make sure we have an even slope from here all the way to the drain. You do not want to have any dips. If you go the other way, you run the chance of putting some dips in the concrete where the water won't drain off. So always screed perpendicular to your slope. Okay, so Daniel just asked me, so I really appreciate Daniel's questions, because I know he doesn't have a construction background like we do, right? And so he asked me right now, he goes, how are they so in sync with a screed board? He goes, because they'll be going and going and going, and I mean, they make the exact same movements, right? He goes, but the biggest one is, he says, they're screeding, they may screed for 10 minutes straight, but all of a sudden, they both put the screed board down at the exact same time without making eye contact, without saying anything. How do they know? And I said, well, it's simple. So I was gonna tell him, and I said, you know what, let me get this on video. So the way they know is when you're screeding, you keep your hands in a certain way. You wanna keep it flat the whole way, like this. You go like this, you keep it flat, and when one guy wants to stop, all he has to do is, when he's going like this, he just shakes the screed board a little bit. That transfers that movement to the other side. The other guy knows, okay, put it down. We're done. So that's how they talk to each other, with hand movements on the screed board. Okay, now you notice that over there where the slope is, we did not run the jitterbug. If you run the jitterbug there, it's gonna push the concrete downhill, and obviously that's gonna ruin your slope. Also, notice that when he's running the bull float, he's running it perpendicular to the slope. Do not run it down the slope, or you're gonna push the concrete downhill. So another thing is, when you're doing the slope, you want the concrete to be very stiff, and you want to let it sit up for a little while to stiffen it, so that when you every time you work it, this is a very slight slope, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But if it was a steeper slope, he would have waited longer to run the bull float, because there's always the risk that you're going to push that concrete downhill. Every time you move that concrete, it's going to want to run downhill. Concrete is not self-leveling. Okay, so the slab's all poured out. Now we just have to wait to finish it. You guys can tell right there, right down the middle, that's where we have the drain. So the first 15 feet are flat, that's where the office is going to be. The rest of it's going to be kennels, and that's where the drain is. It's hard to see right now, but everything where the office is, that's level. But everything else is sloping towards the drain. So that way when they're cleaning out the kennels and everything, they can simply just hose everything. It'll go down the drain, and then the drain is piped outside the slab, and everything will be nice and clean, so it'll be easy to clean. So anyway, that's what we're doing today, and the sun's out, the wind's starting to pick up, so we need to be very careful. That wind can really dry up the surface too fast, so we need to keep that in mind. But the guys know what to do, and Daddy and I need to be somewhere else, so this is all we're going to show you. So we'll see you next time. We are Texas Barndominiums.